Hi, Nick from NickNet Entertainment. Just a couple of little things that it's very difficult when you're about to get married and you're looking for the right vendors for your special day. It's always comes down to a very simple question. Usually it's, well, how much are you? Because you don't know what better questions to ask. And it's not your fault because you don't know what you don't know. So in this little video, I'm just going to give you a few things that you should probably check when you're looking for your entertainment to ask and to level the playing field and or maybe differentiate the playing field, because when all you shop around for on price, then you're going to find somebody really cheap, and you may find out just how cheap they are when they turn up, and you'll know why they're so cheap. So not to say that cheap DJs are bad. You might strike it lucky and get an amazing DJ for a really good price. Not to say expensive DJs are better than the cheaper ones either. But learn to ask other questions other than just price, because if you settle on price alone, you might not end up with what you're actually expecting for your day. So here's a few other things you might want to consider before you make a decision about who to hire for your wedding day. First up, is this a good question to ask them? Is this what you do full time? Or is this a weekend hobby for you? Not having a go at the people who do it as a hobby, but you need to consider, does that sit okay with you? Are you okay with somebody who does it as a hobby for your wedding day? Now, some people are completely fine with that, and that's cool. Other people, they don't feel comfortable with having their wedding being someone else's hobby. So it depends on how you feel about that particular situation. And that's something different for everybody, obviously. Another great question, do you have a money back guarantee? Some DJs don't. In fact, very few have money back guarantees. So ask that question though. Go, well, what guarantee do you have? Like that we're going to be happy. Do you have a money back guarantee? Good question to ask. Consider what, and you can probably find this out on their Facebook page or their website, what sort of events do they do? Do they just do weddings, or do they do corporate and birthday parties and whatever? And once again, that might be okay with you. Some couples, they like to make sure that they're sticking with somebody who specializes in weddings only, because they do weddings really well, and that's what they do. So have a look at that. What type of events do they do? And consider and factor in, how do you feel about that? Also, make sure, are they a multi-op? Which means, do they have multiple different DJs, or do they just have, is it the one person? Consider the pros and cons of both. And then if they are a multi-operator, how do you know which DJ out of their staff are you getting? Can they guarantee that the person that you think you're getting will be the person that turns up? Or do they just swap out and just you sort of like take potluck and hope that you get somebody that's okay? Ask also, are you happy to meet? Because I believe everybody should meet their entertainer. And when you do meet, make sure that that person that you're actually meeting is guaranteed to be the person that you're actually getting, because sometimes it will happen where you'll meet maybe the owner of the business, but they'll just send a substitute. So ask that question, am I actually able to meet the person that's going to be the DJ for my special day? And other questions you might want to ask as well is sound equipment. It's a very difficult one unless you really know your sound equipment, but at the end of the day, if the DJ is not using really high quality sound equipment, then even the best DJ in the world is only as good as the sound equipment is. So if they're using really cheap, horrible equipment that distorts and clips the music, then they might be playing all the great music and the best tracks, but if it doesn't sound good, what's the point? So just ask them, how much, maybe a price point, or do some research, find out, what kind of sound equipment do they have, and is it high quality? If they go into the specifics of it and you don't understand it, don't worry about it, but just make sure that they use really high quality sound equipment. Look for testimonials as well, so, and ask them, do you have any testimonials that we can speak to some of your past couples, so that we can actually have a chat with a real past bride and or groom and find out what they actually had to say about it. Check Google, make sure that the reviews are all really good, and also check Facebook. If they've got a Facebook page, are their reviews turned on? And if they aren't turned on, what are people saying? Are they saying good things or bad things? So there's a lot of other questions that you can ask as well, other than how much, because if you're going to ask just how much, unfortunately, it's kind of like walking into a car yard and saying how much is a car. Well, we've got a $500 one here, we've got a $50,000 one here. They're going to be completely different experiences, but they're both cars. Goes the same with DJs. You're going to get cheap, you're going to get high end, and it depends where your importance lies and how much importance you feel that a DJ brings to the success or the not success of your day. So I hope that tip's been helpful. Just think about other questions to ask other than price, and that way you can make a more informed decision.